Government, even in its best state, is but a necessary evil, in its worst state, an intolerable one. Robert Kiyosaki firmly believes that the government does not care about you, no matter what. He also believes that anyone who relies on the government will end up realising that they shouldn't have done that. According to the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, everyone's on their own and should do whatever it takes to ensure they're successful. So today we'll talk about some recession-proof assets you can buy to build wealth so that even in the worst times, you don't have to rely on the government to put food on the table. According to Kiyosaki, one of the best investments to make right now is silver. Shocking, isn't it? Why would silver be an attractive investment? Shouldn't you just buy gold? Well, you should buy gold too, and I'll talk more about that later in the video. But for now, what you need to know is that silver's got your back. Silver is a solid investment right now, and it's the second most used commodity after oil. And guess what? Currently, it's trading 50% below its all-time high. That means you buy it for cheap, stock it, and sell it off whenever it rises in value. Silver has been money for centuries, and Kiyosaki believes that investing in precious metals is better than investing in fiat money. He also called the dollar counterfeit and fake. And the thing is, he's not exactly wrong. Silver can help you hedge against inflation, and while it's a little volatile, it's not nearly as volatile as the stock market. But wait, I haven't gotten to the best part yet. You see, silver has an affordable entry point. You can invest in coins, bullion, and jewellery, or you can invest in ETFs that track silver trends. The ETF's iShares Silver Trust is currently selling for around $22, and silver is selling for just $24 an ounce. If you're still not convinced, then the next thing I tell you will change your mind. The world has realised that things just can't keep happening the way they're happening. With climate change looming over our heads, sustainability is the name of the game right now. And guess what? Silver is widely used in EVs and solar panels because of its conductive properties. EV manufacturers also use silver in electrical contacts for automatic braking, power steering, and navigation systems. Because of this, there's a supply deficit that's been running for about 5 years now. This means that in the near future, the price of silver could increase. Plus, since silver is used as an industrial metal, especially in industries related to sustainability, it gives the commodity a hedge against inflation. So silver's a great investment, yes, but there's another side to the count. Silver prices fluctuate more than gold, and despite the supply deficit, the metal has failed to surpass $30 per ounce. If you're looking for short-term gains, then silver really isn't for you. However, if you're looking for something long-term, and you won't end up panic selling, then this could be exactly what you need. Kiyosaki says that silver is a BIB, in other words, the biggest investment bargain. Since 1915, the metal's inflation-adjusted value has grown 50%, which shows that it can outpace inflation. Now, in the short term, the price of silver depends on the Federal Reserve's next move at the Federal Open Market Committee meeting. Because if there's another rate hike, then the price of silver can decrease further, and then it'll be an even better bargain. Before you jump right in and start investing, you need to study the market and learn about what you're buying. But if you're a new investor with no experience, then precious metals are the safest place to start, especially if you put your money into ETFs. As with any investment, the price of silver may rise or fall, so make sure you consider your risk tolerance before doing anything. Now, just like silver, gold is a recession-proof asset as well. Before anything though, let me just clarify that gold does not have the same easy entry point as silver. However, you can still buy small amounts if you can't afford an entire bullion. A bullion of gold might cost close to $2,000. However, a gram of it will only set you back $62. Unlike fiat money, which is produced in unlimited quantities, gold is scarce, and it's more scarce than silver. So, it will help you hedge perfectly against inflation. If you believe that inflation is still on the horizon, then this might just be a better bet than stocks. Because even historically speaking, gold has been a safe haven asset, and it has hedged against economic uncertainty. And since gold can be sold anywhere in the world, it's also a safe way to protect yourself from geopolitical unrest. Just as how investors can invest in exchange-traded funds for silver, they can do the same for gold. However, Kiyosaki says that he wants no counterparty risk, so instead of investing in ETFs, he prefers to buy physical bullion. By the way, if you're enjoying everything in this video so far, would really appreciate it if you could just like and hit the subscribe button. Another way to protect yourself from a recession is Bitcoin. Before the BRICS summit, Robert Kiyosaki said that The fact that 3/4 of the world will reject the US dollar means that Bitcoin will be a great way to protect yourself. You see, with the BRICS countries now wanting to trade in their own currencies, will in turn result in decreasing demand for the US dollar. So, if you have cash or you've got stocks and bonds in dollars, then your investment is at risk. This is why Kiyosaki believes that alternative assets just as Bitcoin will rise. And instead of focusing on other crypto assets, Kiyosaki has put all his weight behind his flagship asset of decentralized finance. He's even gone on to say how it's his favorite investment choice. He says that he doesn't trust the US government and its financial institutions such as the Federal Reserve and the Treasury Department. Here's what he has to say about the entire thing. I like Bitcoin because we have an enemy in common. The federal government, the Treasury, the Fed and the Wall Street. I don't trust them. If you trust them, save dollars and you know you get yourself a nice bond. I don't trust those guys. Kiyosaki has said that Bitcoin, which is currently trading at around $25,000, can reach $100,000 soon. He says that white gold and silver are God's money. Bitcoin is the people's dollar. This is exactly why he's calling his $100,000 estimate conservative and saying that Bitcoin can even reach $1 million if the economy crashes. He truly believes that the US dollar is done for, and now that Mexico and Japan want to get in on the action as well, the decentralization of the world economy has begun. On top of that, the world is trying to regulate the crypto industry so that investors have the same protection they do when investing in other assets. If those regulations kick in, more people will have the confidence to put their money into crypto, which will increase the demand, thus increasing the price. However, there are still other assets that you could invest in. The ones that I've talked about so far are the ones that will protect you the best against inflation and a recession. But that doesn't mean you start ignoring other assets. Never, ever put all your eggs in one basket. Kiyosaki himself prefers seeing money coming in from all asset classes such as business, paper assets, commodities and real estate. That's the real diversification of your assets. And if you have money invested in all sorts of things, that's the best way to hedge your bets and make sure that you remain recession-proof. So, maybe you could start a small business. It doesn't have to be much. It could be something small that you grow to a certain point and then sell. Or it could be a business that doesn't really need too much attention for you. For example, if you're into fitness, you could create a course and sell it repeatedly. It's important to try to protect yourself from a recession by having your skin in the game, even if it's just a little bit, because that heightens your awareness related to markets and money. But one of the best investments that you can make that will protect you in any circumstances is investing in yourself. One of the biggest mistakes that people make is they don't spend enough time and money on themselves, because you really need to have a foundation upon which you build an investment portfolio. On top of that, you need money coming in that you need to invest, and you can't have that if you don't have the right skills. But before you can start investing, you need to learn the language of money, understand the asset classes, and start by taking a few small steps instead of large risky ones. Not only that, but read books, take courses, maybe go back to school. There are lots of things you can do to start understanding money better, and to start understanding how to invest. Well folks, with that said, let us know in the comments what you think is the best way to protect yourself from a recession. See you next time.